Hello, everyone. I am Janette. I am the Project Junkie, working on a turtle shell. Something like this. I've been asked to make these sitting turtles sit like this, and I attempted to make one last night, and they turned out pretty cute. They're eventually going to hold a little sign that says, you got this, or I got your back, or something like that. But I wanted to make these a little bit bigger, and I, like everybody else, have tons of yarn scraps from other projects. So I am attempting to find out if I can, how much of a yarn scrap I can use to make these turtles. It's Monday morning and everybody must be working. I've been thinking about doing a video on starting a crochet business in 2025 and all of the things that it actually takes because, just because you can crochet doesn't mean that you should start a crochet business. There is a lot involved in starting a crochet business. And I'll be honest, if people are not wanting to buy your stuff before you start a business, in my opinion, you shouldn't start a business. If they're not there to say, you make something and you go, "Oh, that is so cute. How much do you charge for that?" If they're not doing that, then I would suggest not starting a crochet business because it is just completely a money pit to begin with. So, if you have some questions about that, hello everyone. We are live from the US of A. Hello, London. Hello. Yes, I am from the USA. I am working on a turtle shell and using up my scrap yarn. I have a big bag of scrap yarns. Hi, Mom. Okay. Very interesting. Hello from India. I have met several people from India here in the United States. And I am completely fascinated with your holiday customs. They sound like so much fun to me. Okay, how much bigger should we go? Looks like quite a bit. Actually, I'm fascinated with the cultures from so many countries. And where I'm at, I get to meet a lot of people from other countries. But mostly they are from India. And this one man was telling me about his. Hello, Sweden. Was talking to me about his Christmas traditions, what they do in his area, and that they all make food and go to each other's houses and just visit throughout their families and their neighborhoods and just like pick a night to go to each other's houses. That is so cool. I just love the idea of just visiting because, here in America, Christmas is so much commercialized and you don't get, you're worried about getting somebody the perfect gift and, that they really don't need or maybe even want. And over there in India, they were so much more about their families and their friends and just visiting and spending time. Of course, we do that here too, but we don't. We pick one day. We don't make it like you know a week or two of it. And I just think that would be amazing to be able to do that because your family and your friends are extremely important. I don't know what everyone else's holiday traditions or their celebrations are, but I love to hear about what everyone else does. Here we our families are important and we go spend the day with our families, and I love doing that. But I guess I think it's just not enough time. I think we should spend more time, or I would like to spend more time. This is I believe Ellen. This is crochet, and I am working on making a turtle. Someone asked me to make sitting turtles so that they could put positive enforcement signs on here that says like we've got your back, or you can do this, or have a nice day, or something across their belly that they would be like holding it for a sign. So this is the small prototype that I made, but I wanted them just a little bit bigger, mainly because if I put them in my markets, this size I usually sell for $10 to $12, and I want something more in the $15 to $20 range. So So that's what I'm working on this morning, and I'm trying to use up my yarn scraps that have from previous projects because I have a lot of them. This is crochet. I have several videos on my channel that um, are instruction videos on how to do this. The beginner crochet, I believe the first one is learn to crochet in 30 minutes, and that gives you the basic stitches and how to do those, and it goes real slow, step by step. Crochet is very fun, very relaxing. I enjoy it. But yes, I've turned it into a business, so it's not as relaxing as it once was. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're live working on a turtle. It's difficult to see where my first starting spot is. We're not going to be on here live very long today. I'm just trying to get an idea of how big of a scrap I need to make these turtles. And I want several different colors. And I want to use up these scraps. Okay, we got to go to there. If you're working on something, tell me what you're working on. What your craft and hobbies are. Where are you all from? Please don't say specifics, but a country is good. Sounds like my grandson's needing a little attention. Isla, hello. How are you today? I'm working on a turtle shell. I do have a video on my channel about how to make a magic ring. Makes it very simple. And it's actually a short. It's I think the video is like 1 minute. Teaches you how to do a magic ring in 1 minute. Oh, Harry Potter. Is that popular where you're at? I haven't made anything Harry Potter. I actually haven't seen anything Harry Potter around here. My son loves the Harry Potter stuff. He made me sit and watch the whole series with him. It was a pretty good show. I wish these chats were more interactive so I could see what everyone else was making too. Did you find the video, Isla? Okay. That, whether it looks like it or not, is actually a turtle shell. And I can go from here to make a different color on the inside. It looks like I'm going to have plenty of yarn colors to make different shells. Maybe I'll just make a bunch of shells and heads to start out with. But I do believe that's going to work. That will be great. Use up some of these scraps. Hello, Lenora. How are you today? I just popped on for a little bit to, well, actually, I've got all these yarn scraps and I've got to make these little turtles, and I wanted to make them a little bigger, but I wanted to use up my yarn scraps. So I'm sitting here playing yarn chicken with myself to see if I can get a turtle out of these scraps. That fun and cleaning does not go in the same sentence. Unless you're like reorganizing craft stuff. But it's spring. It's about time for that spring cleaning kick. That's the only way it works. That's the only way it works. Oh, I can't wait to go do the dishes. Not. I actually got my son to fold up some laundry last night, so I was quite happy about that. Okay. Close this in. Oh, that's depressing because that's the kind of stuff that you clean all day long and you can't tell you've done very much. It's like cleaning out closets. Work all day to clean out a closet and you can't tell you did anything. That detail cleaning. I have a theory though. I do one day at a time. One room a week. Clean one room real good each week. So then it all doesn't, well, I say that, but looking at my craft room, it's really pretty scary. But I clean one room real good each week, then it doesn't really get too bad. And for that reason, thank goodness I don't have a very big house. It doesn't always work out for me either. I mean, of course, you always got, you know, the living room, which I only have one, two, three. I only have four rooms in the bathroom here on the main floor. Yes, people in and out working on stuff for a show. How do you price your items for a show, Lenora? Do you tag everyone, or do you just make a lot of the same stuff and price it as a group? Well, that's what I discovered when I set them all together, which I'm a big one and done type person. It's just recently that I've tried to make more than one, but if I just set a bunch of them together that these are 25, then people pick them up all the time and how much is this? How much is this? How much is this? So I started tagging every one of them. And it seemed to help me, but I don't know if it's the best way to do it or not. And I've started pricing my stuff pretty much by the size of it. Like this size and this little. Yeah, like this little, I can only get maybe $10 out of this around here, 10 or $12. So that's probably what this will be priced at. And this with the more detail, I'm going to put it, I think, at $25 because that's what size a lot of my $25 things are. So I figure if I stay in those price ranges, I want to have something for everybody. And I know that crochet's not essential. You don't have to have crocheted items, but they're just so darn cute. You got to want them. Yeah, I noticed that too. And in my very first show, if you didn't have the price on it, they would look at it and look at you and go and walk away. Yeah, I noticed that the first time. So I just started pricing everything after that. But I did try the group and they just literally walked away. Almost like I also noticed the way I set up my booth. I had a 10 by 10 tent and I was outside and it was raining. So I set my booth up with the tables on each side so that the people could come into the tent and look and be out of the rain. But my dad and I were sitting at the back of the booth, and they would not come within 3 feet of us. They would step into the tent, look at the front two tables, and that was it. Then they would, if they bought something, it's like they were really uncomfortable with us sitting there in the tent too. And I found that to be interesting. So now I try to make sure that my customers feel safer, that there's a table between us. I don't know why that was a thing, but it really was, and it changed my sales from the first day being about $100 to the next day being about $600. So now I always make sure that I'm separated from my customers. Have you come across that problem? Oh yeah, okay. I think $5 is my lowest item. Did you hear my slinky idea last night, Lenora? Where is my stuff? There is turtle shell number 1. And I had plenty of yarn with these scraps. So now I'm going to go around the outside of this. I keep trying new setups, getting different displays. Because I'm not a marketing type person, so I kind of watch what everybody else does. But I have also noticed that just because it works for them doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. But I like the U shape, and that's normally what I do. And then that's what I do now. That's what I learned to do. But I try not to be out in where the customers are. I mean, some of them just simply don't want you in their way. Couldn't believe how much display shelves and stuff were, so I'm having to get those a little bit at a time because they're just so expensive. I like those fold up, they look like baker's racks. I really like those, but I haven't been able to get any of those yet. Oh, that's a great idea. I have this great big 3-foot dog that I wanted to put for a big attention getter, but I think he's going to have to be in a chair out front all by himself because he's huge. But did you find display items that break down? How do because I can't use things that don't break down. I don't have storage or to be able to get them in the truck because I only have one truck to get to shows. So have you found? I did buy some wire cubes, and I've got some wooden crates from the Great Joann's. But I don't like my stuff on the ground, and I don't really like it where I can't watch what's walking out under kids' shirts. Okay, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea. Okay, there's a turtle shell. And look at that. I still have enough to make a tiny one. The end of a table. Okay. I took some like plastic shelving one time and stuff falls out the back of it, so I don't like that. And if it's windy, I like the cubes things for the wind. But if it's real windy, I don't know if they would really help or how much that would help. Okay, yeah, because my displays hadn't been tall either, but I have seen people, that have like 6-foot displays that are clear up there, and they look really nice. But I don't know if it's real windy, even if if the sides of your tent wall would keep out the wind. I mean, my tents have sides on them. Okay, and I will check those out. Some people are just so creative with their displays. I seem to get, when I get to a show, after I've made all this stuff, and I've made a hodgepodge of stuff, and I start to put it out, I guess I get kind of disappointed in myself thinking that I should have made something different. Well, and that's how I feel. you know, I'm not selling my displays. I don't want to spend money on those either. I feel like it's just waste. I'd rather buy yarn. Jonna's got that laundry bag of scraps, and I've got this bag, and I have it separated into the different sizes, so I have like 3 bags of yarn scraps. Well, that's possible. Now you've got me thinking of what I could use for a display. Wish I was better at marketing. Excuse me. Pneumonia's still hanging on. Well, that is my complete theory. I've put them all in here because I know I can make something else out of them. So today it's going to be these little turtles. And if the scraps get too small, I may attempt to do like a scrappy, doll blanket or something like Jonna's making, because she crochets so fast. She just amazes me with that. She is so good at that. And I just am not. But I've got these little tiny balls. And some of these, I mean, I'll tie to the next skein that's the same color. So I guess in the end I really don't have scraps. I won't have much scraps because I have like this tiny ball and this tiny ball. And right now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to make one ball out of these 2. Snails, bugs, scrappy turtles. Okay, well, and that's what I'm thinking is the scrappy turtles. But now that I've got, well, see, I'm getting rid of a scrap here. You see how I did that? Now I only have 1 ball of red. But I also noticed that I have 4 balls of green. I guess I have this aversion to playing yarn chicken. Terrified that my project is not going to have enough yarn to finish, and then I'm going to be freaking out. And now it's even worse because I know I can't just run to Joann's and get some more. Legs and head, different colors. Like you have 4 legs on a turtle and you made 4 different colors. Oh, okay. I like that. Do you have a Misfits bucket or display where you sell your stuff that doesn't quite meet your standard? Do you sell those for less? Hi, Susan. I'm so glad you caught me. Yay. How are you doing? Is it warm there today? Okay, I haven't done that yet either. I am doing good. I am working on all these things, trying to get ready for a spring show, and people are wanting turtles, and I cannot believe how popular turtles are. So I'm kind of burying myself, and that's not always fun. Another bag of pieces. I'm hoping we don't hear the sun shining here. It's still kind of cold. Oh, goodness. I guess I need to take... I think that's a good idea. Do you ever bag any of your items? I have been working on the turtles that people have asked me for, these turtles that sit up, and they want to put like little signs on them, positive reinforcement signs, like you got this, or I got your back, or something that they want to make their own sign to put in the middle of it. So I tried this little one, and so now that's what I'm working on, because I want them a little bit bigger, because I want them in the 12 to $20 range is what I'm after. Susan, you have to see my potato head. I love this potato head. I love that potato head. I love how that turned out. Maybe I'm creepy. Thank you, Susan. John, I'm glad you made it. I'm trying not to impose on yours, on your when you go live. But I had a little bit of time today, and I cannot believe I just sat down here, and it's already been almost an hour, and I gotta get in here and get lunch made, and then it's time to go to work. Oh, I did ask Lenora, if do you put any of your stuff in plastic bags or like in cellophane? Yes, I'm so glad you showed up, Susan. Made my day. You and Lenora and Jonna, and I'm just so happy. And I've had a few other new people today, so that's really awesome. I love where I even had some people from India today. That was cool. And one from London, so that was cool too. Okay, what kind of items do you put in plastic? Thank you, Susan. Okay. That makes sense. Makes sense. I am tickled with the people. I have had a few of the trolls that you spoke about, Jonna. I've only had to block one person. So that was pretty good. You know, and I'm still learning. And I'm thinking I need a better chair like the one you've got. Because this one is not comfortable. Also, Jonna, you see that big yarn that I was working with? Let me get that yarn so you can see it. I made this cat bed. And I've left the strings because I want to tie like cat toys in here. But this yarn is so big. And I have like this much in scraps. Would you be interested in this yarn? Oh, thanks, Susan. But it is for a cat, but this super bulky yarn, it just hurts me. So I've got all of it. And Jonna, if you want it, I could run it down to your house sometime. I just have one dog. Yeah, it's the super chunky. I think it's like what you've got on the back of your chair, but I'm not sure. And I've just got pieces of different different skeins. But it's this great big giant bag. Susan, what kind of fur kids do you have? Are they both cats? Come here, Ellie. I used a 19 millimeter and it needed to be a 22. Here's my fur baby. Say hi, Ellie. Say hi, quit. Yuck. Okay, you can get down now. You need a bath. She needs a bath. Don't have time for that. Hi, Tinker. I just have the one pooch, and she's enough. Funny thing about that is I always loved cats. Yeah, and I used it to make that giant dog, but I am not going to use it, and if you want it, you're welcome to it, because, well, frankly, I need the shelf space for more yarn, and I don't like this, and I'm not going to use it. They've got some in between that I might be interested in trying, but this stuff is just too much on my factory wrists. And I tried to do a chain with my fingers, doing the finger crochet with that. Didn't work out too well for me. So if somebody don't want it, I'm going to probably throw it in the trash, because I would be better off putting it on the sewing machine and sewing it. It is. I use this great big, and this is a 19 millimeter hook, and it is awful. And I tried it with this hook, and this is a 15 millimeter, which I like this shape better, but it's just, and I've got one bigger around here somewhere that maybe that would have worked better, but I can't find that hook, and I'm not buying another one because I don't like the yarn well enough. Yeah, they're huge. And I got them at Joann's. I don't know if you can get, how big you can get at like Hobby Lobby, and I haven't looked at Michael's. Yeah, that's right, John. It really is. And I mean, by the time I got finished with that great big dog, I had to wait several days in between because my wrists hurt so bad. So, that wasn't my goal to hurt myself. So yeah, I have a 19, but I wanted a 22, and I don't even have any idea where that other crochet hook is. But if I can find it, I may try it again. But man, it just hurts. Finger crochet only for that stuff. I wonder why they don't put that warning on the packaging. They need. Janette says this hurts. Amazing. Well, I am super glad that you all got here today and came to visit with me and chat with me. I have to go hop in the shower to get ready for work. The lovely. Oh, I'm so sorry, Susan. I have to go to work tonight. Don't want to go to work tonight. I wish I could retire, but it's not happening anytime soon. But so glad you can all make it. You all have a great Monday, and thanks for joining me. I so appreciate it. And you made this hour just completely fly by. Jonna, if you're on later this evening, you always get off work, or you always get offline as I'm driving home. You too, Susan. I was so happy to see you pop on here. Thank you, Lenora, for all the insights and help with the displays and all of that, answering the questions. That's great. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.